Story 1. I had a caller ask to speak to the person who makes the decisions in the household. I put the phone on speaker and handed it to my 4-year-old daughter. She very politely said, "Hello. Hello? I'm ready to talk now." I heard him say to someone in the background, "What is wrong with these people?" And he hung up. Seriously, if you don't want to talk to the boss, then don't ask to talk to the boss. Story 2. If you answer spam calls, they know your number belongs to a real person, and you will receive many more spam calls. Ignore all of them and enjoy the silence. Story 3. My uncle could teach a masterclass on this. He had insurance scammers trying to insure his toy truck. When asked for his social security number, he would always string 9 random numbers and then say, "and 11." He would always confuse the scammers who didn't know English well. He also somehow trolled a flat earth group on Facebook by becoming a moderator and arguing, banning, and baiting people. He is a wild person. I love him. Story 4. Lately I just say random words, mostly to determine if I am talking to a person or some robot nonsense. Rutabaga, Tabasco, aviation, diet soda, cheese whiz, backle. Story 5. I just use classic Jim Florentine bits. The key is to sound authentic if you really want to string them along and waste their time and not have them hang up. My favorite is the part before or after that bit. Answer the phone and let them make their pitch. Act genuinely interested for a minute or two. Then at a certain point just say, "Sorry, what was that last part you just said? I think my phone was breaking up." They'll repeat the last thing they said. Say, "No, the part before that." They'll repeat something else. "No, the part after that." Keep that going until they get frustrated or confused. Then reassure them you are very interested, you just want to make sure you have all the information. Let them continue. Rinse and repeat. I have done this so many times that now I get excited whenever I receive spam calls. Like, I'll stop whatever I'm doing and spend 20 minutes stringing some poor person along. Forget them. Story 6. I get spam calls for duct cleaning all the time. My kids will make duck sounds in the background while I tell them my ducks are clean, but the geese are a mess. Gets them every time. Story 7. Don't say hello, just pick up the phone and say, "It's done, but there's blood everywhere. I'll need your help cleaning it up. Bring bleach, trash bags, and that large saw from the garage." And then just hang up. Story 8. My son received a spam phone call. He patiently listened to what they said, then asked, "How do I get my penis out of the end of the vacuum cleaner? It's stuck." They hung up on him. Story 9. My cell phone is also my work number. I answer calls from numbers I do not recognize with my name and the name of the agency I work for, which includes the words law enforcement. Spam calls hang up pretty quickly. I did have one hang on after that and try to tell me that Customs and Border Protection had seized a package and needed to speak to me urgently about it. I asked if it would be okay if I just went down the hall and talked to them in person. They also hung up. Story 10. I either say hello too loud since I firmly believe these spam people are wearing a headset, or I do a whole tongue twister of "Thank you for calling Pat's Penis Pumps. This is Pat Papsmear. Have you had your penis pumped today?" If they persist, I do everything I can to sell them a nonsensical penis pump I've made up specifications for on the spot but am quite proud of. It's usually the loud screeching "hello." That's my go-to. Story 11. Telemarketer. Hi. Would you be interested in switching over to TMI long-distance service? Jerry. Oh gee, I can't talk right now. Why don't you give me your home number and I will call you later? Telemarketer. Well, I am sorry, we are not allowed to do that. Jerry. Oh, I guess you do not want people calling you at home. Telemarketer. No. Jerry, well, now you know how I feel. Jerry hangs up phone. Story 12. I know small phrases from a lot of different languages. I switch between languages so they don't know what to do. Once, I had a guy who responded in each language I switched to, which was so impressive I listened to his whole product-pushing phone call. Story 13. My favorite way is to in perfect English say, "I am so sorry. I don't speak any English." They try and talk. I just repeat, "I am so sorry. I don't speak any English. I really hope you have a fantastic day. I just don't speak any English whatsoever." Story 14. I ask them if they can please hold for one moment, and then I mute my microphone and put my phone in my pocket and go about my day. I only answer because typically it is robots that will go to voicemail, which takes a lot of effort to clear, so it's just much easier to answer those and hang up. Story 15. House of Perverts. How may I assist you? This worked great as I don't receive calls anymore because I asked if they were interested in adult products, assuming they called an adult video shop. Story 16. I'm glad you called back. We have been trying to reach you about your extended car warranty that is about to expire. If you act now, I can renew it for you. Story 17. My dad once got a spam call and waited until the lady was done talking. When she finally stopped and asked him a question, he just responded with, "Sorry, I don't speak English." And she hung up. Story 18. I once sang "Hey Big Spender" to one of those claim back payment protection insurance calls. They hung up before I reached the chorus. Rude. Also, when I went through a spell of getting those "have you been injured in a car crash" calls, I made up an elaborate story about driving in my van to a competition where my prize-winning show ferret, Mr. Miffles, was competing. I said my ferret sprained his paw and only won the silver. I asked if I could provide video evidence and claim lost prize money. Amazingly, that didn't put them off. They asked if I was injured. Clearly, they don't care about a ferret. I then kicked things up a notch and said that I was naked while driving and Mr. Miffles bit me on the man parts while he flew through the air. Only then did they hang up. If they ever call back, I will say how I am a successful content creator and my many subscribers were turned off by my anatomy being covered in sticking plasters. Story 19. I acted like I could not understand them. Me, I speak American. Them, I'm speaking American. Me, I speak American. Them, I'm speaking American. Me, I speak American. Them, I am speaking American. Me, no, you are speaking English. I am speaking American. Them, forget it. And then they hung up on me. Story 20. Honestly, just hang up. Most of the people on the line are slaves or indentured servants. 1 in 10 are maybe making their own money, but a lot of them traveled from their home country on a promise of a great job and were lied to. Story 21. I used to answer the "I'm calling from Google" and "car warranty" calls with an Indian accent that sounded like an old man. Good times. I used to record them, and then I switched phones and don't have them anymore. I had some people trying to get me to go into my control panel to do a bunch of stuff on my laptop, and I just bumbled around a bit, got distracted, accidentally deleted what he told me to type. I had him on the phone for about 15 minutes and then finally told him I just couldn't do the accent anymore. He started swearing at me like crazy. That one was fun. More so because I sounded just like him. Story 22. Turn the tables on them. Once someone called me claiming I'd won something, and I asked for their name and told them, "What a coincidence. I was about to call you to say you won." Then he hung up laughing. Story 23. Answer it normally, mid-sentence, drop something that makes a loud noise. Mom, are you okay? What do you mean your chest is hurting? You look pale. Works best if the caller isn't Indian. Those people are ruthless. Just keep describing symptoms of a heart attack or stroke with them on the phone until they beg you to call an ambulance. Story 24. My grown son would answer unknown callers with a variety of goofy things. He settled on XXX Auto Shop. You break it, we fix it. One day, his dyslexia kicked in, and that became XX Auto Shop. You fix it, we break it. The telemarketer got a good laugh out of that one. Story 25. I usually answer with, "Hello, you have reached the annual meeting of people who ignore spam calls. How can I help you?" The silence is golden, and sometimes you can hear them trying to figure out if they called the right number. Story 26. I tell them to hang on just a second, then I put the phone down. Sometimes I lead them on like I'm interested, then keep putting it down. Had one on for almost 30 minutes. Story 27. Just 2 hours ago, as soon as the scammer answered, I started off with, "Hello, I've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty," and just stuck to the bit. They seemed oddly annoyed by that. Story 28. I got a call from a house flipper trying to buy my house. I said I wasn't interested, but while I have you on the phone, Would you be interested in buying an automotive warranty? Story 29. I once received a call from a survey company about which fast food restaurants I use. The caller was a young woman. Anyway, I didn't have much to do, so I just answered the survey and chatted with her. Eventually, we were just talking about whether she should get an Xbox or a PlayStation and other random stuff. Then I had to go somewhere, and she thanked me for not being rude to her on the phone. Story 30. Thank you for calling America's Great Car Insurance. My name is Chad Wilkinson. May I please get your first and last name and the last 4 digits of your social security number? Sometimes I go along with it until personal information is requested. Then I talk about who their car insurance is with and how I can offer it to them for a lower price. The number of times I get hung up on is always funny. Story 31. I get spam calls at work from call centers saying my bank details need verifying. I always speak to an agent and give a random police department name. They soon hang up. When I get bored with doing that, I reprimand them for being unscrupulous swindlers. Funnily enough, they still hang up. Story 32. There is a funny recording of a guy who pretended to be the investigating officer at a crime scene, Tom Mabe. Story 33. When I was still fluent in it, I once had an entire conversation in French. The guy got so mad, laughing my ass off. Another one was from Seinfeld. Jerry said he was busy, but if he could get the caller's personal number, he would be sure to call back at a random time. Story 34. Do not answer. Sometimes they just need to know that the number is real. It will be funny for the moment, but it will not be once they start blowing up your phone or looking you up through your number. Story 35. Sound really concerned, then randomly answer their questions with the longest phrase I can think of, then insist on spelling it out for them. Oh, my extended insurance? Yes, I can't do without it. I have my credit card right here. What do I drive? It's a 2018 Range Rover Autobiography Dynamic. It's R for Randy, A for Apple, N for November, G. You'd be surprised how many of them let me finish just because I said I have my credit card. Story 36. My mother received one of those scam calls from someone calling her grandma and telling her he needed money. She played along but made up a story about how he told her he was sending her money back from last time, and now she was late on her electric bill, and they were shutting it off this week. When was he sending the money? He was practically stumbling over himself, apologizing and promising to have the money for her electric bill tomorrow before he hung up. Story 37. Moshi Moshi. In Japanese, it's primarily used to answer personal phone calls. It signals that the speaker is attentive and ready to begin a conversation. To a spammer, it's like, what the heck? Click. Story 38. Hello. Thank you for calling your local sperm bank. You spank it, we bank it. How may I assist you? Hey, not in the waiting room. We'll get you a private room for that. Hello? Anyone there? Hello? Story 39. Just say yes to everything. Could I get your credit card number? Yes. Great. Can you start with the first 4 numbers? Yes. So what are they? Yes. And so on. Story 40. I apologize and tell them that I do not speak English. Then, no matter what they say, I repeat variations of, I'm sorry, I do not understand what you are saying. I do not speak English, until they hang up on me. I do pretty much the same thing with scammers and petitions on the street, but it is usually just said once while I keep walking past them. Story 41. Solar panel solicitor called me. I asked him if he was familiar with astrophysics and astronomy. He said he was not. I told him that I have some bad news to share. I told him that I cannot contract for any solar panels since our sun is going to go supernova within a month's time, and that anything and everything in our solar system would cease to exist very soon. He freaked and hung up. Story 42. Also, to irritate them, say anything except the word yes. They try to get a recording of you saying yes. So if anything happens, they can edit the phone call recording to make it look like you agreed to something. For this reason, spam telephone companies like to try to get recordings of people saying yes to sell to other spam telephone companies. They will usually ask numerous questions just to get a yes out of you, such as, are you between the ages of 2 and 100? Or you do not have to make a commitment right now. But if you would like to hear our offer, just say yes. When they call me, I tease them by answering their questions without saying yes. For example, are you between the ages of 2 and 100? Me, I am of age. Them, so can you just say yes? Me, I already answered that and told you I am of age. By the end of this, some of them get so mad they start cussing. Story 43. I used to pick up spam calls screaming, just full volume screaming. It was hilarious in our student house. I stopped after answering 2 different recruiters potentially offering me a job in this manner. Story 44. I never answer them since half the time no one is there, and it's just a robot calling as many numbers as possible to find active phone numbers to later call with real spam. Story 45. Do not call unless you have the money you owe me. You owe me 10 million. Also, do not bother contacting me unless the job is done. Bring back the package too so I know you have completed the job. Story 46. You could try saying, thank you for calling the Galactic Federation. Your spaceship will be ready in 10 minutes. Can I take your order for intergalactic travel? It's silly and may surprise them. Story 47. I've noticed that no matter what you say to them, they always go straight for your mom jokes when they realize you're messing with them. It's like that's part of their script. Story 48. I got a spam call from someone claiming to be from the power company trying to offer me solar panels, which is funny because if they were from the power company, they would know that I already have solar panels in the first place.